Hey there, comrades in capitalism. Welcome to the new normal. Remember 2019? Simpler times. Avocado toast was still a personality trait, and we thought the biggest challenge was finding the perfect Instagram filter. We hadn't yet experienced the soul-crushing void of a global pandemic. Reward management sounded like something from a dystopian office sitcom, not a daily survival strategy. Fast forward to 2024. The world's gone a bit bonkers, hasn't it? Everything we knew has been turned on its head. We all became intimately familiar with the word Zoom, and not just for meetings, but for virtual happy hours too. And inflation decided to cosplay as a runaway hot air balloon, making everything from groceries to gas a luxury. Naturally, all this chaos has upended how companies keep employees, vaguely content. The old playbook is out the window. Reward management isn't about gold watches and Employee of the Month parking anymore. Those days are long gone. It's about navigating a world where remote work is the norm, everyone's stressed, and good employees are harder to find than affordable housing. The game has changed. So, buckle up, Buttercup. We're diving deep into the wild world of modern reward management. It's a complex maze, but we're here to guide you through it. Spoiler alert, it's about more than just money, but money's still pretty great, let's be honest. It's about creating value beyond the paycheck. This ain't your grandpappy's workplace anymore. The office has evolved, and so have the expectations. Companies can't just throw money at a problem and expect loyalty. It's not that simple anymore. Employees want flexibility, purpose, and the assurance that their employer isn't going to replace them with a sentient stapler. They crave meaningful work and a supportive environment. We're talking about a fundamental shift in the employer-employee dynamic. It's a partnership now, more than ever. It's a brave new world out there, and understanding how to reward people in this environment is crucial for any organisation that doesn't want to lose all its employees to a startup promising unlimited kombucha on tap. Adapt or get left behind. Alright, let's address the elephant, or multiple elephants, in the room. The last few years have been, shall we say, eventful. To put it mildly, we've been through a whirlwind of unprecedented events. We're talking about a greatest hits compilation of global crises that would make even the most optimistic person question the trajectory of human civilization. First, Brexit. Remember that? It was like watching a slow-motion car crash into a custard pie factory. The chaos was both surreal and oddly mesmerising. The fallout, economic uncertainty, trade complications, and a whole lot of people wondering if they needed to brush up on their German or French. Spoiler, they probably should. Then came the pandemic. Suddenly, we were all virologists, epidemiologists, and amateur sourdough bakers. Our kitchens turned into makeshift labs, and our homes became our entire world. The world locked down, supply chains went haywire, and remote work became synonymous with wearing sweatpants to important Zoom meetings. But wait, there's more. As if a global pandemic and a messy divorce from the European Union weren't enough, we were also graced with a cost of living crisis, for good measure. Prices for everyday items skyrocketed. Inflation soared higher than a SpaceX rocket. It felt like we were living in an economic roller coaster. People were struggling to afford basic necessities, and the phrase "treat yourself" took on a darkly ironic tone. Even simple pleasures became luxuries. So, yeah, it's been a wild ride, a ride that none of us signed up for, but here we are. But here's the thing, these events didn't just happen in a vacuum. They were interconnected, each crisis amplifying the effects of the others. They had a ripple effect on everything, including, you guessed it, reward management. Companies had to rethink how they motivate and reward their employees in these challenging times. Remember that whole cost of living crisis thing we talked about? It's been a hot topic for quite some time now. Turns out when everything costs more, people want to be paid more. Who would have thought? It's a simple equation, really. This, combined with other factors like pandemic-induced career changes and the ever-elusive work-life balance, led to a delightful little phenomenon known as the labour shortage. People started rethinking their careers and priorities. Companies suddenly found themselves in a bizarre game show where the prize was qualified employees, and the only way to win was to offer increasingly enticing compensation packages. It was like a bidding war for talent. Think of it as a corporate game of the price is right. But instead of bidding on a new car, companies are vying for the attention of talented individuals who can actually keep their businesses afloat. The stakes were higher than ever. Now, you might be thinking, just pay people more money, problem solved. But it's not that straightforward. Well, my dear Watson, if only it were that simple. There are layers to this issue. Remember that pesky inflation we mentioned? It's not just a consumer problem. Yeah, it affects companies too. Rising costs mean tighter budgets. So, what's an employer to do? Get creative, that's what. Innovation is key. We're talking about going beyond the standard salary bump and thinking outside the increasingly expensive box. Perks, benefits, and flexible work arrangements are all on the table now. Reward management students, use this opportunity to consolidate your expertise along with your creativity to have a successful career in your chosen field. Our book is here to help.